I've been building my own kingdom for everyone to see. It exists to keep me safe from harm, and it's intact to glorify me. Nobody helped me build this up. It was me and me alone. I've appointed myself as the king, and I've given myself the throne. But it turns out I'm no ruler, and I have no control. So I have decided to destroy it all. I'm tearing down the walls, kicking down the doors. Everything inside this kingdom is yours. 'Cause what I've made is worthless, and it cannot stand. Come and breathe some life into my empty, cold, dead hands. Down with the fickle king, away with this fantasy. You are the one I need. Death to the kingdom of me. Death to the kingdom of me. I should probably be frightened. This empire's all I know, but it always does more damage than good. I'm afraid it's gotta go. I know that I can't be trusted, 'cause I'm just a man. And if you hadn't given your life for me, a loser would be all that I am. You know they say just follow your heart. I'm afraid that's a load of trash. Your heart will take you down to deep, dark places where you feel like you'll never come back. So I'm coming out of the dark. This facade is I woke up feeling like it was time to tighten up. Yeah, I woke up feeling like it might be a good day to get it done. That's right. Oh, the stadium is just like my second house. Now I'm two-tone talking, they can't shut my mouth. I woke up feeling like it was time to tighten up. Yeah, 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 yeah. I woke up feeling like it was time.
Well. Welcome to episode 194 of the Two-Tone Talk by God pod on a Monday before Thanksgiving and a moral victory Monday. Is there such thing as a moral victory Monday? Are there such thing as moral victories in the NFL, in the National Football League? No, there's not. Listen, the Titans are 1-10. I'm not going to sugarcoat. It's awful. Okay, like it's we're not going to sit here and act like the Titans are just magically awesome now because they put up a fight yesterday. They're still 1-10. Okay, but in all seriousness, is this the best that Titans fans have felt on a Monday all season? Like, even the week that we won, even the week that we beat Arizona, even that Monday, I mean, everybody was glad we won, but it was still like, oh, I mean, it was just a series of unfortunate events for the Arizona Cardinals that day. This is like the best I have felt on a Monday after a game all season. And we lost. Like, don't get me wrong, we lost and fell to 1-10, but this is the best I have felt about not only this team, but the future of this team after a game all season. All season. Let's get into why. The Titans lose to the Seahawks, but let's be honest. I mean, Friday, I did an episode where I said it may not be as bad as it seems. Things may not be as bad as they seem. Things may be closer to turning around than you think. And I was met with criticism from a lot of people. Oh, Brad, you're out of your mind. It is every bit as bad as it seems. There's no hope. We're addicted to negativity. We thrive on hopelessness. Well, the reason I said it may not be as bad as it seems on Friday is because I thought, you know what? I think this rookie class is promising. I think that I trust Mike Borgonzi to hire the next head coach. I got into all the reasons why. You can go back and listen to that episode from Friday if you want. But after yesterday, you have every bit of reason to believe that it's not as bad as it has seemed and that there is hope here. There is hope. The Titans on paper, I thought going into this game, I thought it could be the most lopsided game of the NFL season because the Seahawks, for much of this season, especially lately, again, I know they lost to the Rams last week, but before that, I mean, they were just brutalizing teams. They were having games where the games were pretty much over at halftime. So coming into this game and the Seahawks coming off of a loss anyway, I was like, this thing could be over at halftime. This is going to be a whooping. We are going to get obliterated. And granted, at one point in the third quarter, it was 23-3. And at one point in the second half, it was 30-10. So, I mean, it was lopsided there for a little bit. But, it ended up being 30-24. And in the fourth quarter of this game, the Titans had their opportunities. Like, the Titans were in this game in the fourth quarter. It was 30-17 with plenty of time left, and they were driving before penalties and sacks derailed them. But, they had an onside kick opportunity with, 45 seconds left, down by 6, ended up losing the game by 6. They were in this game. And so, yes, there are no such thing as moral victories, but for the Titans to go out at this point in the season, coming into this game 1-9, everybody thinks you're a laughingstock. First of all, they're still fighting. This is not a team that has quit. I don't care how you feel about how they're playing, how certain position groups are playing. They have not quit. They are still out there trying to win games. And you say whatever you want about Mike McCoy, and I'd have a lot of things that I don't like about his coaching style, but he has done a better job than Brian Callahan, and I know that's a very low bar to clear, but he appears to be at least getting more out of the players than Brian Callahan did. I know it hasn't resulted in wins, but look at who they're playing. Houston, Seattle, New England, the Chargers, the Colts. These are the teams that the Titans have had to play since Mike McCoy took over. Not exactly an easy slate of games. So Mike McCoy does not need to be on this staff any further after this season, but he is getting more out of the players than Callahan did. I don't think the players believed in what Callahan was giving whatsoever. They at least appear to kind of be willing to go along with Mike McCoy. So the team is still fighting. They are absolutely still fighting. And Cam Ward, listen, I know it has not always been pretty. I know he has had a turnover problem. I know some of his deep ball accuracy especially needs to get better, and his footwork and all of that. But if you could possibly watch him yesterday, because yesterday, that was his best game so far from start to finish. He's had times before where he put together a good quarter. You know, he's had times where he put together a good half. But as far as complete games, Cam Ward, this was his best game yesterday against the Seahawks, against a top 5 defense. And think about what this dude did. Last week against Houston, he led a 95-yard touchdown drive to tie the game against the NFL's best defense, in my opinion. Houston, not even a top 5 defense. Houston is the best defense in the NFL. Cam Ward led a 95-yard drive to tie the game last week against them with Mason, Kinsey, and Van Jefferson. And then he came out this week against another top 5 defense and, dare I say, played better against them than most quarterbacks that they've gone against this season. Cam Ward played better against the Seahawks than most quarterbacks they've gone against. The Seahawks defense is legit. Cam's starting to use his legs more, which is something that fans have been begging for. Why doesn't this guy take off? Why doesn't he extend plays with his legs? Well, he did it this week. Making some things happen with his legs. He was the team's leading rusher for the second week in a row. Extending plays with his legs, keeping plays alive with his legs, and then sometimes taking off and making and getting nice plays with his legs. So that was an improvement. His decision making, which early on, there were times where, he was trying to force some things, being a little careless with the ball, as rookies do. But yesterday you saw somebody, I thought, who was being very smart with the football, not putting the ball in harm's way, but not being, conservative either. Numerous plays. The first drive, the nice pump fake to get the Seahawks defender up in the air and then running for a nice 15 to 20-yard gain. On that same drive, looking like he's going to get sacked, and as he's going to the ground, flicking it out to Chigakonkwo for a first down. Then you had, in the second quarter, the throw to James Prochet down the seam on, I believe, third down, just a zinger. These are just the ones off the top of my head. Then you get to the second half, where I believe he threw a no-look pass to Gunnar Helm. I didn't notice it live, but somebody posted on X. Certainly looks like Cam threw the old no-looker to Gunnar Helm on the drive where he ended up scoring a rushing touchdown, which was supposed to be a shovel pass to somebody. He ends up taking off running, super camming like Cam Newton into the end zone for a touchdown, hitting the celly afterwards. That was a lot of fun to see. Then, when the chips are down, this may have been my favorite play of the season. Rolling right on 3rd and 4, escapes the pocket, makes a nice move to make a defender miss, extend the play, rolling right, falling out of bounds. I don't even know what I would call this. Flicking it, side-arming it across the field to Xavier Restrepo. Just a freakish play. Like, the only other guys that I can think of in the NFL who routinely, because we've seen Cam Ward do that. The touchdown to Alec Iomanor, his first NFL touchdown back in week 2, was that same sort of thing. Rolling right, getting hit out of bounds, chunking it across the field. The only other people that I see regularly doing this are Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. They are the only ones. And Mahomes especially. Mahomes is the only one that I see doing that freakish stuff. And this is not me comparing Cam Ward to those guys, but that is a special trait that he has. And I just thought Cam Ward was really, really good. And after a week where I had to sit here and listen to people in the Nashville sports media insinuate that there should be a quarterback competition, because let me tell you what some of these guys are doing. And some of them I like. But some of these guys are getting on and they're making outrageous claims about how there should be a competition here. They should bring in some competition for Cam Ward going into 2026. And then when you get mad at them for saying it, they act like the victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, they say something that is clearly said to bring in engagement, to bait people into being triggered by what they said. And then when people come at them for it, they say, well, people are misreading what I said. No, we're reading exactly what you said, and you know what you said, and you know what you meant when you said it. But one in particular, I ain't going to say his name. One in particular tried to insinuate that the Titans should trade Cam Ward and go get Mac Jones. That same person also insinuated that the Titans would have like 7 wins if they had brought in Sam Darnold. All due respect to Sam Darnold. He's been playing well for the Seahawks. But I'm pretty sure Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, pretty sure that's a better lineup than Van Jefferson and Mason. But you get the point. This one guy has been out here just making these outrageous claims, and that truly long overdue has earned him the distinction of Weenie of the Week. Nothing more needs to be said. I mean, I hope you enjoy that crow that you're eating today, because Cam Ward played his best game of the year after you said he should be traded for Mac Jones. I mean, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Like, yeah, the kid has struggled, but he's getting better. He's getting better. The progression is there. And think about what he's having to overcome to progress. With this coaching staff, he's progressing. With this group of receivers, he's progressing. With Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears giving him an average of like 25 yards a game, he's progressing. He's improving against these defenses. Houston, twice. The Patriots, the Chargers, the Seahawks. He's showing progression and improvement against them with this staff and these receivers, and you're going to sit here and tell me that you don't have hope for this kid? Are you crazy? I'm not saying it's been perfect. I'm not even saying yesterday was perfect. But how could you watch that yesterday and think, man, there ain't nothing there? That kid ain't got nothing. What? What would he have to do to have something? What would he have to do? Be white? I'm sorry. Intrusive thought. An intrusive thought. I'm sorry. I gotta stop. That was an intrusive thought that kicked in, and I said it, and now it's been said, and I can't take it back because we're on the internet. What would he have to do to convince you that there's something there? What would he have to do? Would he have to be Jaden Daniels? Would he have to take a team to the championship game, to one game away from the Super Bowl right off the bat? Would he have to set records? Because how many times do I have to say, Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud, they were the exception and not the rule. It is not normal. It is not normal for rookie quarterbacks to come in and do what they did. And look what they've done since. Again, good teams for sure, but Houston and Washington, while being good teams, well, Washington's not even a good team this year. It's not like Stroud and Daniels are just playing well. It's not like they're playing well. As a matter of fact, Houston's looked better with Davis Mills. So sometimes you've just got to give, I know this is unheard of, you got to give these kids time, man. You got to give these kids time. You have to. You cannot put a kid like Cam Ward or anybody else. And you know what? Same with Jackson Dart. Same with Shador. These kids are on bad teams, man. The Browns aren't good. They got Myles Garrett. They got a good defense, but the Browns aren't good. The Giants aren't good. They fired their coach too. These teams aren't good. These quarterbacks, I mean, I know Shador is a little different because it was a 5th round, but the Browns were up there. The Browns had the number 2 pick in the draft before they traded back. So, I mean, they were awful last year. These are bad teams. These are bad teams that these quarterbacks are having to go to try to help revive them. And that means you've got to give it time. You cannot start insinuating that the new quarterback should be traded because he hasn't shown you everything in 10 games, 11 games. It's crazy. It's crazy. You cannot sit here and say, we need to have a competition for the starting job next year because Cam Ward hasn't shown perfection through the first 10 games. That's crazy, man. Come on. In what other line of work do we operate like that? You go sign up for any job. Go watch the first 20 podcasts that I did when I started this channel, when I started this podcast. They sucked. It takes time. I'm not saying it's great now. Some of you would say it's not great now. But I do appreciate everybody that's been kind on Nate Washington's post asking for favorite Titans podcasters and YouTubers, and a lot of people gave me a shout out on there. I appreciate that. But anything in life, it's going to take time. You're not just going to show up and be awesome. Rarely are you going to show up and be awesome. Just give the kid time, because if he keeps doing what he did yesterday, if he keeps progressing and getting better and making plays, because yesterday I saw the Cam Ward from Miami. I saw a guy that looked comfortable. I saw a guy that looked like he was having fun. I saw a guy who looked confident. If he can keep doing that, because let me tell you something, the Jaguars are coming to town, who almost got beat by Arizona in overtime yesterday, and the Jaguars are feeling good about themselves because they're 7-4 and they think they're going to the playoffs. And I know a lot of people want the Titans to lose to secure that number 1 pick, but I got to be honest with you guys. Would it not be hilarious? Would it not be hilarious if the Tennessee Titans beat the Jaguars on Sunday? Would that not be, in a season with not very much to smile about? I know it would hurt our draft stock for now, but I would have to giggle. I'd have to have me a good old-fashioned giggle if the Titans beat the Jaguars, because I think they could. I think they actually have a chance. Because the Jaguars ain't the Seahawks. I know, bud. Tell them. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. That's right. Cam Ward's a dog. He's right over here. That's right, Cam. You're a dog. Anyway, the Jaguars are not the Seahawks. The Jaguars are not the Texans. He'll shut up in a second. My wife just got home. The Jaguars are not the Chargers they killed the Chargers last week, actually. But they're not the Patriots. They're not the Colts. Titans have a shot. They could beat the Jaguars. And I know that would hurt the draft position, but it'd be funny. Don't tell me that wouldn't be hilarious and wouldn't make you a little bit happy to see. Let's talk about other players other than Cam Ward. I thought Cam Ward was big thumbs up. I'm very excited about him after yesterday, especially if that's any indicator of what he can do. If you get him a better coach, if you get him more talent, if he's able to do what he did yesterday with this crew, come on. Like, you mean tell me you're not excited about that? Xavier Restrepo. All right. Well, hold on. First, let's talk about Chimere DK. We'll get to Restrepo, but first let's talk about Chimere DK. All pro? I mean, this kid's going to be an all pro. A 90-yard punt. First of all, I like the fact he started the game rough. He had a drop on offense, and then on a kickoff return, he dropped the ball out of bounds and set us up at the 3-yard line. So he started the game with some adversity because he was messing some stuff up, and he responded with a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown, and then he caught a touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns yesterday. He's got the most all-purpose yards of anybody in the NFL. So beyond Cam, if you're looking for guys to be excited about, look no further than Chimere DK. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, when they drafted him at the top of the 4th round, I was like, I'm not sure about that. But you know what? He's been great. He's been awesome. That's a player. That's a building block. That is a building block. I legitimately, Chimere DK, and he was sensational again, gave the team a spark yesterday. Very excited about him. Now, Xavier Restrepo. I think there is a disconnect. Some of y'all want me to talk about Shedeur. I'll get to it. I think there is a disconnect between the Titans media, the local media in Nashville, and the fan base when it comes to Xavier Restrepo. I think that the local media, and Paul Kaharski, I've seen him talk about this, and I think Paul's been great this season. I think Paul has been one of the best reporters for the Titans this year. But like, I think that he thinks, and some of the reporters think, that Titans fans are under the impression that Xavier Restrepo is like Randy Moss. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they think that we think Xavier Restrepo is wide receiver 1. He can come in here. And I don't think, at least for me, that's not how I've ever viewed Xavier Restrepo. I've never viewed him as like, oh, he's going to come in and be the spark. The reason that a lot of Titans fans have wanted to see Xavier Restrepo, in particular, in my opinion, elevated, is because his history with Cam Ward, I think, is more comfortable with him out there. I think that their history together does provide a comfort and kind of a I can complete your sentence type thing. You know, when you have a connection with somebody, they can complete your sentence. In a football sense, I feel like Xavier Restrepo can complete Cam Ward's sentence. And on the play yesterday where Cam's rolling right, falling out of bounds, okay, yeah, maybe you could argue he would make that play with anybody. But I do think there's something to the fact of, I think Restrepo knew where to go. I think Restrepo's played with Cam Ward and knew, okay, we're playing backyard football now, and I'm going to find somewhere to get so that he can find me. Now, am I saying that Cam could not have done that with any other receiver? No, but I think if you're a Titans fan, what you've wanted is that familiarity that those two have with each other. And considering the fact that the Titans don't have a good receiving group anyway, why not? Why not? He's a rookie. I did a whole video about this last week. Worst case scenario, he's no good. Okay, you're 1-10. Best case scenario, he gives you something and he can be a depth chart guy. He can be a depth guy at wide receiver next year. I mean, that's best case scenario. If he can be a reliable target, I mean, he had 2 catches for 26 yards yesterday. It's better than Mason Kinsey. He getting reps over him. I'm not going to say James Prochet. James Prochet did some good stuff yesterday. But I think what you saw from Xavier Restrepo, that's about what I expected. He'll be a reliable target for Cam when trouble comes. And he was on that particular play. And then Cam threw one up to him in the end zone that I think Restrepo could have had a shot at. And then he had the one down to the 1 yard line. I'm not here to tell you that Xavier Restrepo is like unbelievable and he's Jerry Rice. But like, he's earned a right to get more reps. You're 1-10. Why not? You know Van Jefferson ain't going to be on this team next year. You know James Prochet ain't going to be on this team next year. Xavier Restrepo's a rookie. At least see what you got. Give him as many opportunities as you can. Because what if he shows you something? What if he brings in about 40 yards a game? That could be a reliable target, you know? So I like what we saw from Xavier Restrepo. I'm not going to sit here and act like he just won receiver of the year or something, but like he earned more. That's what I'm willing to say. Xavier Restrepo earned more opportunities. He should not be back on the practice squad this week. He should be on the roster. He should be in the lineup against Jacksonville on Sunday. He's earned that right. And is James Prochet, is he a better player than Xavier Restrepo? Maybe, but James Prochet ain't a part of the future of this team. Xavier Restrepo could be something if you put him out there and he becomes a reliable target for Cam Ward. So I liked what we saw from Xavier Restrepo. Gunnar Helm, I thought played well. I thought that they're getting him more targets. Finally, they're getting him more involved. He's become a reliable target. So I like what we're seeing from Gunnar Helm and this rookie class. Man. Femi Oladejo should be coming back anytime now. If he comes back and starts playing well, listen, there's a lot to be excited about because I've already talked about Cam. I've already talked about Chimere Dike, Xavier Restrepo, Gunnar Helm. Alec Iomanor's shown a lot. He didn't play this week, but that's another rookie that's shown a lot of promise. But on defense, Kevin Winston, that boy ain't afraid to hit somebody. I don't know if you guys watch like Kevin Winston, some of these plays where they've got the defense has a guy stood up and Kevin Winston just runs in full speed. I like Kevin Winston. I like that he's getting all these reps. Marcus Harris, slot corner. Is he the am I crazy for wondering if Marcus Harris is the starting slot corner for next year? Am I crazy for thinking that Marcus Harris might be the Roger McCreary replacement? Because he's sure playing well. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but 6th round rookie playing pretty well. I think he might be their plan. And I'm not saying I'm against it. I think he's playing pretty well. Jalen Armour-Davis, he can go. I think he's not going to be on the team next year. But Darrell Baker is a good depth corner. He shouldn't be starting, but I like Darrell Baker as like a depth corner guy when somebody gets hurt or something, needs a water break. But the rookie class, I'm just really encouraged about. I know Darrell Baker's not a rookie. Don't include him with that. But these rookies, I think they're playing well. If Femi Oladejo can come back and do some good things whenever he comes off IR, this rookie class could be a dandy for Mike Borgonzi. Could be a doozy. And I'll tell you another thing. Kalel Mullings, a running back they took in the 6th round, they cleared him from IR over the weekend. They need him to get some reps. They need him playing running back because Tony Pollard ain't giving you nothing. God bless Tony, but he ain't going to be on this team next year. He ain't giving you nothing. Tyjae Spears, he's doing some things in the passing game, but he's not doing anything in the run game. We need a running back to help Cam Ward because we ain't getting nothing from our running game. Put that rookie in there and see what he does. Put that rookie in there and see what he does. I'm telling you, that's what I want to see. Who else? Who else played well? Jeffrey Simmons, I thought, was struggling. Probably played his worst half of football in the first half, but man, when he came to life in the second half, he was blowing up everything Seattle wanted to do, and he was part of the reason the Titans got back in this game because he was in Sam Darnold's face. He was blowing up their offensive line. Jeff Simmons, phenomenal, always. Quiet day for T'Vondre Sweat. Cedric Gray always flying around. I'm just thinking on the defensive side of the ball. Tyjae Spears did some good things in the pass game. He's electric in the pass game. He's just not bringing much to the run game right now. Offensive line. I want to say this. Last week, I said J.C. Latham was the weenie of the week. And he was because of the penalties. The false starts, 3 in a game, and then a holding penalty. But I actually, if you take away the penalties against Houston for J.C. Latham, I actually thought he played pretty well. I actually thought against that defensive front, if you take off the penalties, I actually thought J.C. Latham played well last week. And I thought he hung in there okay this week. It wasn't perfect. He had a couple of mishaps, but I think J.C. Latham is probably not as bad as we've made him out to be. I'm not saying he's what he needs to be right now, but I don't think it's like a case where like we got to go get a new right tackle. You don't need to be going to get a new right tackle. I think J.C. Latham has been good enough that you can feel fine about him going forward. He's just got to clean up the penalties. Dan Moore, that's another thing you got to consider about Cam Ward. He had a backup left tackle in for a lot of this game because Dan Moore got hurt. And he might have Ali Udoh against Jacksonville on Sunday. Dan Moore is not great, but he's better than Ali Udoh. So, but having Ali Udoh against this defense and Cam Ward was able to do what he did in that second half, you going to tell me you're not excited about that? You going to tell me you're not excited about that? But Lloyd Cushenberry, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. Pete Skoronski, they called a stupid penalty on him, which was not a penalty, but they called it anyway. Kevin Zeitler's been up and down. But the offensive line, I'll say this, and this is the one thing I'll give Will Levis. That's right. I'm going to give something to Will Levis. He did have a worse offensive line than Cam Ward. Now, Cam Ward's is not particularly good. They struggle a lot. But this offensive line is better. It's probably not as good as we thought it would be, but it is better than last year. It is better. And maybe I'm reading too much into this, and you can tell me in the chat if you think I'm out of line in saying this. I feel like the offensive line's been better since Bill Callahan left. I'm just saying, maybe I'm just imagining that. I'm not saying they've been great, but I do feel like they've been better since Bill Callahan left. Is that just me? Because it may just be me. So I know it's weird today. It feels like a victory Monday, even though we lost. But it is the best I felt on a Monday all season. I thought Cam played really, really well. His best game so far. The rookies are playing well. And the Titans, they're not quitting. They're still out there giving it all they've got. And you've got I think you got a really good group of rookies. I think you really do. And then you pepper in Jeff and Skoronski and some of these players that'll be back with them next year. I think that there is a foundation here. I know we're 1-10, and who wants to talk about hope when you're 1-10? But I'm telling you, I think Mike Borgonzi knocked it out of the park with this rookie class. I think Cam is headed up, not down. He's headed up, up, up. I think the rookies are all doing well. And I think I trust Borgonzi. Maybe I'm wrong, but I trust Borgonzi to hire the right coach, and I'm starting to trust Cam. Like yesterday, in that fourth quarter, I wasn't worried about him turning the ball over. I wasn't worried about him dropping the ball. He looked confident. He looked calm. Some of y'all want to talk about Shedeur, so I will talk about Shedeur briefly. Shedeur Sanders, they just named him. He's officially the starter for the Browns going forward. He started yesterday against the Raiders. First thing I want to say, this is not anything to do with Shedeur, but the Raiders, I think, are the biggest threat to the Titans getting the number 1 overall pick. The Raiders are horrible. They are. I was on Red Zone, but I watched a lot of that Browns-Raiders game because I knew one of those teams was going to win and get some separation between us and them in the draft. The Raiders are terrible, man. I know we lost to the Raiders, but there's a reason why Brian Callahan got fired after that game, because the Raiders are awful. They are terrible. Geno Smith is bad. Pete Carroll is not doing a good job. So the Raiders, I think, are the biggest threat to the Titans getting the number 1 overall pick. Because if the Titans keep playing like they did yesterday, I think they might grab a win or two somewhere in here. So we need the Saints to win some games. We need the Jets, the Giants, the Raiders to win some games. And I think the Raiders are the ones I have the least trust in to win the game. Back to Shedeur and the Browns. I thought Shedeur, he had the nice long ball yesterday. Early in the game. Obviously, the Browns won. Some people don't believe me when I say this. I don't have a problem with Shedeur at all. I had a problem with the media coverage of Shedeur. I had a problem with Cam Ward's draft moment getting glossed over because of Shedeur. I thought a part of it was funny when he fell as far as he did in the draft, to watch Mel Kiper sit there pooping his pants over it. I don't have anything against Shedeur, and I hope he does well. And it's probably going to be Cam versus Shedeur in a couple of weeks. And I really hope Cam plays well in that game, because I don't have it in me to watch First Take try and tell me that Shedeur is better than Cam. But I do, like, I'm already kind of exhausted because Cam Ward played great yesterday and, like, made some unreal plays. And the big highlight of the day was Shador throwing a screen pass for 66 yards and a touchdown. It's like, of course. Of course, Cam has his best game of the season, and it gets overshadowed because Shador threw a screen pass and the running back ran at 66 yards. I don't have any, I hope Shador is their guy in Cleveland. I really do. I hope he's their guy. I hope Jackson Dart is the Giants guy. I like seeing these rookies succeed as long as they're not in Indianapolis, Houston, or Jacksonville, or Dallas, or Baltimore. But I will not allow Cam Ward's name to be disrespected in the honor of Shador Sanders. Like, you put Shador against the Seahawks defense and see how he does. Put Shador against the Texans defense and see how he does. Cam's been thrown to the wolves. Cam has been tried by fire this season. He's been going, the Rams, the Broncos, he's been going against tough defenses since the word go. And I think he's going to be better for it. Because he's had to go against the best of the best this season over and over and over and over again. I think he's going to be better for it. I really do. But I wish Shador well. I've never had anything against Shador, but I'm glad we got who we got. I'd still take Cam over Shador, and I'd still take Cam over Jackson Dart. And that ain't nothing against them. I just think Cam, if you watch yesterday, that kid can do some things, man. He could be really special. And so I know it's weird today. It's a weird dynamic because we lost, but it feels like we won. And it feels kind of pathetic because we're sitting here acting like we won, even though we clearly lost and fell to 1-10. But considering where we are and considering what this team is, yesterday was a pretty darn good Sunday for the 2025 Tennessee Titans. Cam looked good. Rookies looked good. Team fought. Came up just short against a team that on paper it looked like they didn't even belong on the field with. I'll take it. The Titans play the Jaguars on Sunday. And, hey, Thanksgiving is this Thursday. And why don't we just go ahead and make picks for the Thanksgiving Day games? There's 3 of them. It's Thanksgiving. Somebody said, so you don't want to see Travis Hunter succeed. Nope, I do not. If he gets traded, I'd love to see him succeed, but not in Jacksonville. Not in Jacksonville. Let's make picks for Thanksgiving Day. First of all, the Panthers and the 49ers are tonight. Big opportunity for the Panthers because the Bucs lost and the Bucs look bad and Baker's hurt. I just don't think they're going to do it. I got the 49ers tonight. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, Packers-Lions. That's a big one. That's a big game. I'm going to go Lions in Detroit. I got to go Lions. Chiefs-Cowboys. Give me the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are about to go on a late season surge. Glad to see them beat the Colts yesterday. You know what? I want to say this. The Titans are mathematically eliminated from the AFC South race, and we're about to be mathematically eliminated from even wild card race within the next week or two. But I take great joy in the fact that at least one of our AFC South foes is going to be really disappointed soon because only one of them can win the division. I think the Colts might fall apart. They're 8-3. Texans coming along. I hate the Texans, but I like them more than the Colts. Colts kind of got a tough go of it these last little bit. Texans coming on strong. Texans and Colts play each other twice. I just take great joy in knowing that at least one of our AFC South foes is going to be very disappointed. And I'd love for Jacksonville to be disappointed on Sunday. But we'll talk more about that another time. I got the Chiefs beating the Cowboys. And then Thursday night's Bengals-Ravens. Ravens. Gotta go Ravens. Bengals just, they ain't got it. I'll go Ravens. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Eat you some turkey. Friday, probably not going to be live Friday. Maybe. I'll make a post between now and then because with Thanksgiving, we're going to be traveling all around. But happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And you know what? This week, in terms of the Titans, there actually is something to be thankful for. The future actually doesn't look bleak for once. Appreciate you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Tighten up.